Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be making some cacti or crazy cactuses. To start, we're going to use some of the same materials we used the other day. We're going to use some markers. We're going to need some foil, some paper. You're going to need paintbrushes, and you're also going to need that water again. So I'm going to show you another trick you could use with water and foil, but this time using it to watercolor. All right, so to make a cactus or a group of cacti, if you're doing plural, you're going to want to start the same way that we started with our cupcakes, because you want to think about the shape of a pot, and it's the same curvy shape. So we're going to do that first. So I'm going to take my pencil again, and in the center of my paper, I'm going to draw a smile. After I draw the smile, I'm going to have two lines going up. They can be straight up or they could come out a little bit. I'm going to do the same line right here on the top. And then before I make the other side of the pot, I'm going to make the cactus, okay? So to make a cactus, really easy. It's just a line going up and then a line going down. So it's going to look like a big long U that got dragged out. And then what you're going to do is cactus, or cacti I should say, have arms on both sides, usually. So you're going to draw some lines coming out. This side is going to kind of look like a person flexing. Okay. After you're done doing that, you're going to want to do the texture. And usually some cactuses have lines that go up. And these don't have to be straight lines, because remember, nothing in nature is completely perfect. So it's going to look better if it's a little off. So I'm just going to add those lines. If you want to get fancy and add the spikes, you can do that. Or some cactuses actually have flowers too, so you could use some flowers if you want. And then maybe some more spikes. Come on. And then around the bottom of the cactus where the soil is, I'm just going to make kind of a wavy line to show that it's coming out of the dirt. Or you could have pebbles. And then I'm going to make the back of my pot come around. It's basically going to be the opposite of this line. So instead of a smile, it's going to be a frown. And I'm going to add some more texture using circles for the pebbles. Some cactus or cacti are kind of spiky with like leaves, so you can do that kind of shape. They're kind of like eyeball shapes or teardrops, kind of stacked up on one another. And then you do the same thing with the lines. You can do spikes. And after you do that, you can start adding the details, like the little plate that goes underneath to catch the water. If you want to get kind of silly and make these like cactus creatures, you could add eyes and mouth and stuff like that, which would be kind of cool. But I'm just going to keep it like this for now. Okay, now for the cool part. You're going to use the foil that we used yesterday, and we're going to use the same thing, markers. So any kind of washable markers, and then Sharpies if you want to outline. So I think I'm going to outline this first, and then I'm going to add my colors. So let me outline it real quick and then apply our colors. Okay, after you're done outlining, you're gonna add color. Just grab some markers, and then on your foil, you're gonna make kind of like a little palette with different colors. So I'm gonna have some dark green, some light green, maybe 3 types of green. And then for the dirt, in the pot, do some gray, and then some brown, and some light brown. You might also want to have a little cup of water so you can clean your brush off. All right, so all you have to do, again, take a little water, spray a little bit on. If you want a cup to wash your brush off later, you can definitely do that too. Or if it's easier to dip your brush into the water and then do it, that works too. All right, so now we have watercolor. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to gently brush it onto my foil and mix my paint, and then I can start to make my watercolor. Okay, so I'm done painting in my cacti with the marker and the water mixture. And I tried some different techniques. Some were drawing directly on the wet paper with the marker, and other times using the foil and the colors I mixed from the markers to add the color to. And you can actually go back in and add more details once the paint dries a little bit. So if you wanted to add shadow, this would be a good time to do that. But this is looking pretty good. Again, when you're making your cacti, you can totally do funny creatures and add eyes, a mouth, a sombrero, whatever you want to be silly. Or if you want it a little bit more fancy, a little bit more traditional, you could just make some different shapes of cacti or succulents. That's another thing too. So thank you so much for joining me today, and happy painting. Thank you.